front row. Will Power down low in the silver Verizon car. Joseph Newgarden, the reigning champ, on the high line. And Pagenaud in that very distinct Menards yellow one. Racing in Iowa. Let's go. Nice and close. And it's Will Power who takes the lead into the first 2 turns.
Nobody on the extreme high line. Pagenaud's flirting with it, trying to look for a way by RHR.
Then back to Alexander Rossi in 5th. Behind Rossi, it's Dixon, then Wickens. And then along comes Ed Jones. Takuma Sato in the mix, ahead of Ed Carpenter and James Hinchcliffe. Pagenaud and Rossi side by side.
Nice clean pass by Rossi. That was a nice one, so perfectly done. Pagenaud looks to the high side. Wickens on the inside of Dixon, following Rossi's moves. He's chasing his tail.
Dixon looking very strong on the outside there, clears Wickens, and now he'll set his sights further up on that Rossi-Pagenaud battle. Rossi making the low line work early. He will not be able to do that later on in the stint as the tires start to wear.
Spoke to Pagenaud's guys earlier. He said he watched a truck race from here and he saw that the high line was the line for the trucks and really wanted to work on that line early. He's already up there. Look at the speed coming off the corner when he comes off the high line. He's got way more top-end speed than being on the low part of the track.
Scott Dixon's also making it work. Sebastian Bourdais working the high line. In fact, Bourdais' biggest mover since the start, up 3 positions along with Andretti and Piggott.
So we got a 2-groove racetrack already, which is going to make good racing tonight. Here's Marco racing with Tony Kanaan. Marco's always a guy who's up on the high line.
This
former
is
winner here, 2 former winners here.
16th and 17th position we're talking about at the moment with Marco Andretti, Tony Kanaan, and then Zach Clayman de Mello back in 18th. So it's Power leading by over a second up at the front as Kanaan makes the move on Andretti.
Clayman de Mello stuffs it down the inside. Marco washes out a little bit from TK's car. Zach Veach down the inside of Ed Carpenter. Ed Carpenter rallying back on that high line. Look at that speed. When you come off on the high line, Towns, look at the top speed that you pull.
Not only do you use more top speed or with a bigger radius, but you use less of your tire doing that, but then it kind of flip-flops at the other end of the track. Carpenter has to back out of it exiting 4.
There is a new leader in the Iowa Corn 300, and it is Joseph Newgarden. Watch this. On the far right of your screen is Newgarden. Power is up there behind Marco Andretti, dancing in the grey, and Newgarden on that low line just blasted on through.
Yeah, Power got into the dirty air behind Marco, had to check up, and Newgarden was just down low, clean air, right line, good acceleration. This is a great battle right here. Seeing Takuma Sato and Robert Wickens go at it with, again, a lap car in the mix with Gabby Chavez. Sato goes low.
Wickens is staying with him.
Hanging tight on the outside. That was brave.
We're already
Wickens trusting Sato. Sato's always a clean driver, but I think the lap cars at the end of this race are really going to play a key, as obviously for the lead.
And this is a big turnaround. Yes, Paul, this is a big turnaround for Takuma Sato. He has not been happy with this car at all leading up to qualifying and final practice, getting in this battle involved with Gabby Chavez for a lap, and then of course Robert Wickens. He said his car has been what we know as pushy loose. In other words, it pushes, the front won't turn, and when it hooks up, it snaps loose. But now this looks much more solid.
Sato's running in 11th. He's just ahead of his teammate Graham Rahal, and Sato coming off a really strong result at Road America 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the reason I was cringing a bit there with Sato down low was that late in the tire stint, we're already 33 laps in here, and the tire grip is well down. The lap times are a second slower than they were at the start. When you try to hold the low line like Graham Rahal's going to do right here, you hit those bumps right there in the middle of 3 and 4. It can be a handful. The car can easily get away from you.
Well, Graham Rahal's fighting for his life right now with Newgarden right behind him. He's checked out on power, so Graham Rahal right now is really fighting hard to stay on the lead lap.
See what Newgarden does down here. He goes high, looking for clean air. Now he's going to try to cross over that dirty air coming off the back of Rahal. And now down in 1 and 2, we think going high is the quicker way. So Rahal stays up, and then Newgarden goes down low to pick up clean air. That's going to be the game you're going to see all day long.
You've almost, to try to keep the leader behind you with Newgarden being so fast, you've almost got to mirror drive and just drive his line. But he's got to run off a 4, really strong run coming off.
No surprise to see that, and the first opportunity for us to get an indication of how strong the three Penske cars was in qualifying yesterday.
And for Joseph Newgarden, he's so strong, he's almost 4 seconds ahead of Power. But look at James Hinchcliffe, he's the biggest mover of the race, up 7 positions. He laps Marco Andretti. He's all over the back of third place Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Still there, tight.
Here are the Iowa Corn biggest movers of the race, and as Townsend just said, Hinch is up 7. Spencer Pigot, after his first top 10 of the year in Road America 2 weeks ago, he's up 6, and rookie Zach Clayman DeMello up the same amount as well. Hunter-Reay pits from within the top 5.
Doesn't matter though, Paul, for Newgarden, because he's 2 laps up on Rahal, about to come to pit lane soon. Pigot takes fresh tires.
A 19.8 on that last lap for Rahal, 21.3 for...
Ryan Hunter-Reay pitting from 4th position. Remember, he cannot talk to the team, but Ray Gosselin did tell him, we're not going to change the front wing. He said more so, tire pressures are how we'll adjust things. Sunoco fuel as well, Hunter-Reay back out, and there's a fire, Jan on Veach.
Yes, Zach Veach, of course, very akin to what we saw. He had a fire at the Indianapolis 500 that they put out. That was a close call with another car coming in, but it appears as though that was a fuel fire that they were able to put out by the use of water. That is the whole idea. Everything looks okay. Katie?
James Hinchcliffe fits from the 2nd position. He's the biggest mover of the day, but dealing with the left front tire vibration. The team said, don't worry about it, bud. We're going to give you a tire pressure adjustment to fix that for this one, as you also see Marco Andretti pitting for his first stop. Lee?
Wow, that was a wild sequence of stops, wasn't it? Here are the Penske teammates on track together. Simon Pagenaud blasts past race leader Joseph Newgarden, who we should see pit any moment now.
Can't really underscore how much faster the cars are on fresh tires.
And remember what happened to Zach Veach at this year's Indianapolis 500.
Something about an orange and yellow car that's not good luck for fueling. There you see a little splash, and it just lights up at Indy. Almost an identical thing just happened here in Iowa. Newgarden's in.
Most of the leaders are coming in right now. This is Will Power coming down, Robert Wickens, and there's Joseph Newgarden in the back as well. Power gets to his stall first. Newgarden is going to come around him and has to get around the tiptoe his teammate. No changes should be expected. Power is going to get out just in front of Newgarden. So Will Power jumps Joseph Newgarden on the in and out lap.
Yeah, but he's going to try and stay on ahead of Newgarden, because he was about to get lapped, which is just an incredible opening stint from Joseph Newgarden. Here's Rossi and Dixon. Charlie Kimball just been serviced. Kev?
Alexander Rossi, Paul called it. He's been talking about it, very loose. He did say the car is starting to come to him a little bit. They make it well past what some fear, maybe 60, 70 laps on tires, and Rossi is slow getting away. They're going to have to push him back. Dixon gets out. They'll push Rossi back and under green. This is going to be incredibly costly.
Remember what happened to Rossi despite being in the mix at Road America. He had that problem with the shim on the front left, and it was extremely costly.
On a track this tight with a lap time this short, that's a total disaster. As Newgarden finishes his first out lap, we'll look at the lap time, 19.1 seconds, so right back up to speed and flying is the number 1.
The guy who's really fell through the field with that pit stops is Power, who's fallen back to 9th.
Chevy driver update gives us a look at the top Chevy drivers in today's race so far. Needless to say, Joseph Newgarden the best, and finally puts his teammate a lap down. No, Power comes back. Will Power, the pole sitter, fighting hard to stay on the lead lap.
Wickens gets his lap back. That was the opportunity that he was looking for, and that can really unsettle your tires.
It was exactly like what happened to Joseph Newgarden earlier on the previous stint with Sato. He goes down low, but he needs the track room for the slide job to get it up the track. And he didn't get it from his teammate Will Power. That allows Wickens a chance to stay on the lead lap, but now he goes a lap down again. Let's watch it again. So right here, Newgarden's going to go low and hold the low line. but right about here mid-corner, you need space to slide up the track, and Power didn't give it to him. Newgarden had to back out and almost lost it. That would have taken out both cars.
You incorporating little Dale Jr. there with slide job?
I'm infected, man. He did a great job.
He's now our NBC Sports brother, and he's doing a heck of a job.
How about this? Zach Veach just lapped Scott Dixon.
Incredible.
Zach Veach chasing down Wickens. Wickens working all over the back of Ryan Hunter-Reay. Just in front of them, Simon Pagenaud for position. So we got some good racing going on right here.
Wickens just loosened up big time down low.
Hunter-Reay on the inside of Charlie Kimball. Racing lap 136 of 300 here in Iowa. It sees Newgarden just under 8 seconds ahead of Hinchcliffe. Spencer Pigot on the lead lap in third, and he has been the biggest mover in this field, up 15 positions from his starting spot, Jan.
Yes, he has, and Brent Harvey's on the radio with Spencer. He hasn't really been happy all weekend. What has brought this car to life?
We just rearranged the car a little bit of the settings to try to get the balance a little more where he wanted it. Not a lot different, but it's worked out pretty good for the race here.
What's the game plan on tires? How far can you go?
You can run 80-some laps, I think, with the fuel economy we're getting, so.
No, but I mean, as far as good tire life and speed, that seems to be the key today. When do you start losing too much speed?
Right now, you don't. I think you can take it all the way out to 80 with the top 3 cars that are running fast.
Wow, that's shocking that you can have the car dialed to that degree and go 80 laps on good tires.
Well, full credit to Firestone for coming here with great tires, as Veach has a huge moment going into 3.
Veach
into the wall.
There's
up
the
in the
first
gray.
yellow.
Yep. So now we get a chance for everybody to reset on a pit stop, make some changes.
Right side, the lead.
Meanwhile, ready to get going again, Joseph Newgarden at the front, and he's got closer company than he's had in a long time in this race. Hinchcliffe, the bright green car is Spencer Pigot. Pigot goes the high line on Hinchcliffe, right around the outside. Hinch hangs tough on the inside.
Hard racing there, a clean line up top now. They've just dusted off the track as they still go side by side.
Boy, Pigot is hooked up. Hinchcliffe doesn't want to relinquish it, but he has no choice.
Got awfully close there at the exit of 4 with Hinchcliffe's right front to Pigot's left rear. Here comes Hinchcliffe again.
Hinchcliffe fights back, goes for the low line. Pigot takes the high line, gets the drive off the corner as Hinch washes up and has to shift a gear.
Spencer Pigot is a star pupil and example of the Mazda road to Indy. He won at every stage along the way in the official ladder system for the Verizon IndyCar Series. Can you imagine if he could score his first IndyCar win here today?
That 21 ECR car finished second last year with J.R. Hildebrand to a Penske, but it was Helio Castroneves that won last year for Penske as Hinchcliffe makes the move.
Hinchcliffe fighting hard to get back. He wants to get back.
Momentum outside.
He wants to get back to Joseph Newgarden. The longer these guys fight side by side, it's only helping Newgarden as he's pulled out to a 1-second lead.
Ryan Hunter-Reay and Robert Wickens continuing their fight. Will Power is in the mix as well.
All these guys now back on the lead lap with the wave around. We've got everybody on the lead lap down to Ray Hall in 10th. Hunter-Reay right on the back tire of Wickens.
Let's check out some Firestone telemetry aboard Ryan Hunter-Reay. Up to 184 miles an hour, and we can't stress enough, just remember, this is a 7/8 of a mile oval, and you're hitting 184 miles an hour.
A 1:18.6 on the last lap for Joseph Newgarden and an 18.8 for Hinchcliffe. So we saw, as the tires were, guys down in the 21s and 20s. So
as we head to pit lane, here's Katie.
And Lee, this is the most competitive we've seen James Hinchcliffe all season. So let's check in with the strategist, Taylor Kyle. Taylor, what's working for you guys this weekend on the 5 car?
Well, I think the team's been really good, and James is in a great mental space here. He's been excellent all weekend, and he's driving his butt off, so that's all we can ask here.
Do you have anything for Joseph Newgarden?
Yeah, I think so. We're matching him time for time here. We're just kind of cruising behind him. We'll see what we have at the end.
See if they can put on a show for us, Jan.
Yes, and Bobby Rahal is on the radio with Takuma Sato. Boy, this car has really come alive for you as well. Is it because of the hot track temperatures? He looks like he hit it right on.
Well, so far, I don't know if we quite have the pace of Newgarden yet, but in general, the longer the run, the better we are. So, now Newgarden's being held up by traffic a bit. So, hopefully we can catch up to him. But so far, so good.
So in your case, you're hoping for no yellow because your tires are better at the end of the stint?
Well, I mean, I think we've been pretty consistent on the longer run. So, really it's going to depend on what the top two guys do. We don't want to get out of sync with them. So we'll let them see what the strategy is. But right now we're pretty happy.
Thank you, Bobby. And one quick note. Takuma Sato, of course, has led this year. He is running now in a higher position than his best finish. Kevin?
Tim Cindric is on the box calling strategy for Joseph Newgarden. Any concerns for him at all today?
Just Hinchcliffe right now, but the car's been good. It just seems to free up at the end of the run, but you guys continue to make the cars better and better. Obviously, during the race, the lap traffic becomes a bigger player as we go on.
If no yellows, so I assume one stop. How is he at the end of the tire life?
Yeah, it gets pretty free for us at the end of the tire life, so I think that somewhere around lap 220 or so, you'll see everybody start coming.
All right, thank you, Tim Cindric.
And Tim had to deal with a pretty scary moment on Friday night with the Xfinity Series race at Daytona with his son, Austin, getting involved in a big crash and rolling. Austin was okay, though.
Rahal used the pick there, Townsend, to keep Newgarden behind him, so he got in between Andretti. So Andretti was the pick there for him.
Yeah, Marco's 4 laps down, so I think he'll do the right thing, and he does, getting out of the way of this battle. But as you said, Paul, Rahal's going to make it hard because Rahal has a pretty good car. His pace has been great, so he's desperate to stay on that lead lap. But I think Tim Cindric said it all as we listen to radio on Newgarden.
Let me know Hinch's lane usage. He's following you, running just a half car length tire.
So a little bit of
keep adjusting it.
That's all right. A little bit of concern there for Newgarden, just wanting to know what's Hinch doing, because I think Newgarden can tell Hinch is stronger, especially late in the run. And when we get to the last pit stop, that's really important because Newgarden will want to try to stay out as long as he can to protect against a yellow coming out. But he won't want to stay out too long because he knows he's going really loose. It's going to be a really tough decision for Team Penske. When do they bring him in for the final stop?
Yeah, I just think it's great information that he's even thinking about that. Hey, what lane is he using? He's up high, is he down low? So he's going to know later on in the race where he needs to protect the position. But he's done such a masterful job of just, when he falls back, he just creeps back out again. And if he falls back, he creeps back out. He's just pacing himself and not sticking his neck out.
So Ryan Hunter-Reay is going to be the first of the lead lap cars to come in and make that final stop. He'll be fine on fuel. You might even see most of those coming in at this point short fuel because they've been getting such good mileage. Let's see if they do anything to the car. Hunter-Reay is back out with Sunoco fuel, Jan.
And we've talked about taking that gamble, so here's a couple that are going to do that. Spencer Pigot's been very happy with his car, but he loves his car, as every driver does, on new tires, and he's coming to get them. Katie.
Hinchcliffe lost a position during that stint to Takuma Sato. He's running third right now. He asked the team to take out a wing adjustment. You see that happening right now, Kevin.
Will Power comes out after making his final stop, and here comes the leader. He's dominated this race. Joseph Newgarden at 50 miles per hour down the pit lane, waiting for his easy in. We also see Robbie Wickens, who had been really hoping to get in that final stop. Hunter-Reay is coming back in. We'll check in a moment. We'll watch the leader. Is this a race-winning pit stop for Joseph Newgarden? They were talking about a front wing adjustment, don't see any, and Newgarden is back out with a really good final stop.
Kev, Ryan Hunter-Reay keeps weaving side to side. He did it on the first stop. He did it on this return to pit lane. There's something not quite right with the DHL car.
And remember,
they're talking about a toe link problem. They're talking about a toe link problem for Hunter-Reay.
Remember, at the start of the race, Hunter-Reay couldn't communicate with his team.
On his first stop, I noticed he had some hand signals feverishly
was
trying
doing
to
this,
signal to the crowd, so to his team. So there's definitely something going on with the rear of his car.
Takuma Sato has been on the radio. They asked him, does he want a front wing change? He has decided, no, I do not want any changes. Now, because he's pitting a lap later, look to see where he is at 7.5 seconds. Look to see where he cycles back in. He was one more lap. I think that stopping earlier, you're going to get what's known as the undercut.
Look at where Newgarden is. Sitting in lap traffic. And Hinchcliffe's coming and coming hard. This is what we've been waiting for.
48 laps to go. and this could prove to be a thriller.
Well, again, we got lap traffic, a line of cars in front of Newgarden. Newgarden picks his way through carefully, but Hinchcliffe right now has got a nice little run coming off of 2.
Here we go, James Hinchcliffe. Now Newgarden dives for the inside, gets by Max Chilton. That'll help for the meantime. But the speed of that Arrow Honda, driven by James Hinchcliffe, is impressive.
And I think there'll be urgency from Hinchcliffe on this lap because the next lap car up ahead is Newgarden's teammate Will Power. He might factor into this somehow, some way with a little subtle difficulties for Hinchcliffe. Let's see what happens.
With 48 laps to go, Will Power will not make it easy because if there's a yellow, he's still in this thing. So
a win here
Wicken
today.
on the outside, or the nice run on the outside. Look at this.
It's on.
For the lead of the race, James Hinchcliffe goes. And goes aggressively.
We got a new leader. We got a new leader.
Look at that. James Hinchcliffe takes it to Newgarden and now takes off.
And that was the answer to the question. Power gave no love to Newgarden because Power went high. He's not giving love to Hinchcliffe either. Power wants to stay on the lead lap.
He gave no love to Hinchcliffe. Newgarden trying to fight back. Newgarden knows he's got to try to get back by in this lap traffic. 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Big move. Big move from Hinchcliffe.
Power still not giving it up, wants to stay on the lead lap. I think he's going to get taken here. He's boxed in by Marco. He slides by Marco, so he got clear with the pick move.
Now Newgarden's going to be checked up because Power's down low, forcing him into dirty air. So Newgarden is going to lose over a second in that last 2 to 3 laps.
Well, Newgarden's got to get by these guys because look at the lead that Hinchcliffe's now stretched out to a second lead.
And that low line has worked really well for James Hinchcliffe. Those inside moves are decisive, and this Schmidt-Peterson Honda has performed beautifully today.
Right now, Hinchcliffe has got a big lead. He's still pulling away from Newgarden, and Newgarden is backing up to Wickens.
He's coming up on Ed Jones.
That's Jones in front of you.
And eases past Ed. I don't want to forget the fact to mention and congratulate Dario Franchitti, a 4-time series champion. He's on Ed Jones's box, works in a coaching and mentoring role. Dario, along with Don Schumacher, Tony Stewart, and many others have just been named in next year's Hall of Fame induction. So well done, Dario. Super stuff. I caught up with him last night briefly, and he's enjoying post-racing life.
This will be a popular win for James with a lot of the other guys in the paddock, a lot of his co-drivers like Dario, like Dixon. He gets along well with everybody, so this will be a really popular win and a long time coming.
Inside the final 10 laps. And Hinchcliffe is growing his advantage. It's now nearly 9 seconds over Joseph Newgarden. We're riding with Scott Dixon. Remember those fresh tyres late in the race, but it's been a head-scratch day for Dixon. It's been pretty frustrating. But if he maintains his position... Oh, what's happened to Ed Carpenter?
Come on. Ed Carpenter got massively loose, might have brushed the wall. Let's hope yellow for James, since that they don't pull out a yellow, and it goes yellow. So we're going to have a shootout here, and it's going to be a tire shootout.
5 cars on the lead lap. You'd have to think they all come to pit lane if this finishes under green.
Hit the wall coming out of 2.
This is not what James wanted. Like I said earlier, there's a piece of debris right in the middle of the track, so they have to go yellow for this. So we see now he gets really loose, sideways, crossed up.
Oh, Sato.
Sato hits his front wing.
That's terrible for Sato, who was running 5th and so strong.
Look at his crossed hands, big slide, sprint car style, and Sato had really nowhere to go.
Sato straightened out Ed Carpenter. Carpenter would have spun, but Sato saved the day for Ed.
Well, we're going to see, guys, who are going to be the takers for tires. I think if it was me, I would get tires because they are so much faster.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But can IndyCar get everybody packed up in time?
5 guys on the lead lap, and we are going to have a crazy shootout here at the end.
So it'd be 4 to go at the line.
Yeah.
And And at this point, Hinch is going, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, but Hinch was almost a part of that.
Yes.
Go low.
Genius piece of driving by Sato.
4 to go now. I don't think they're going to have time to really do tires. So he might get lucky here and have a green-white checker. Is almost out of the picture.
And guys, I'm listening to James Hinchcliffe's radio, and there's a big battle. Do we come in or do we not? The team was telling him there's just 4 laps to go, but James made the final call. The pits are open. We'll see if James comes in, but the radio call was, nope, he is not going to come in, guys.
Well, Ed's coming down the pit lane. He's got damage. Ray Hall.
Newgarden's in. Now, is there time to do the wave around for the lap cars?
Now
is there time?
This is Phoenix all over again when Wickens was leading and Wickens stayed out. Now Wickens has come in, and it was Newgarden with fresh tyres that spoiled the Wickens party in Phoenix. Here we go. Is it going to be the other way around, Kev?
So Joseph Newgarden will take the tires. It's an empty pit lane because it's only lead lap cars. This is a really quick stop. There was no big hurry. He's not racing anyone off pit road. So can he make his way back through what? 4 cars on the lead lap. Robert Wickens also took tires back out, running side by side off the pit lane with Simon Pagenaud.
This could be bad news for Hinch.
Well, they got to get them lined up first, but they got to let the lap cars pit next and then get them lined up. So they might run out of time to really do anything. But if they do go green and they're lined up nose to tail, he's dead meat.
I don't know how this is going to work out because there'll be 1 to go next time by. And the guys that took tires.
Bye, buddy.
I don't
not called anything here.
I don't think this is going to work out for the timing of how many laps there are. Because mass confusion at the back of the field
are
here.
out, Paul.
Let's be ready here. Let's be ready.
Get ready, and this is elevated Spencer Pigot to second, and Takuma Sato with a wounded race car up to third.
But there's so many cars for them to get around in 1 lap if the pace car comes in.
Lights are off. That means we should be going green this time by.
No,
lights are back on.
All right, amigo. You are coming to the white flag. I do believe by the rule that you will be the winner of the Iowa Corn 200,
wow.
300.
Well, not the way you would want the race to end. We were going to hope for a shootout or just a straight finish, but this got confusing.
It was close, though. I'd say within 1 lap.
Pitting cost Newgarden 2 positions. Pigot now, his best finish of his career. Newgarden back to 4th, who dominated all weekend.
And Sato on the podium as well. So, almost guaranteed podiums for Newgarden and Wickens have now evaporated. And elevated a Spencer Pigot
really
and Takuma Sato. However, the day belongs to the mayor of Hinchtown. James Hinchcliffe had the most gut-wrenching experience of his life this year, not making the 500, but he wins the Iowa Corn 300.
And here comes the victory celebration here at Iowa Speedway. James, it's been a long road to hoe. James, after missing the Indianapolis 500 to victory lane here at Iowa Speedway, how much of a relief is getting here?
Oh man, I mean, for everybody at Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports, the whole Aero Electronics team, this is such a good feeling. You know, after what happened in May, we knew we had it. You know, we knew we had it in us, and to come here and do it like that. I mean, didn't qualify the best, but we had a good car. And first stint it was great. Second stint we made a change, went a little too far, went too far the other way the next stop, but that last stop, the thing was a rocket ship, and great battles there with Spencer and Joseph at the end, and guys were great in the pits, and Honda Power back on top, just going into Toronto like this. I'm just so stoked.
Joseph, we heard over the radio, he didn't even know where you came from.
Yeah, good. That plays into my hands. No, but you know, he ran such a dominant race all day. I know it's tough to fall behind at the end like that, but man, he's done it. He's done it flag to flag here before. We kind of did it flag to flag in 13. It's nice to kind of race our way up to the front. Like I said, head to Toronto like this, and it's kind of say hi to my girlfriend Becky and my mom and dad back home. Nobody was here this weekend, unfortunately, so I'm kind of solo. But this just feels so good.
I heard the battle over the radio in those closing laps. Were you going to take tires or were you not? What made the final decision for you?
Honestly, it was just a number of laps. You know, by the time you'd come out of the pits,
it wasn't going to be enough, I thought, especially if at least one guy didn't do it. So ultimately the right call. I mean, that would have been a disaster if it didn't go green after taking tires. So, Taylor and Todd, Willa, my engineer, everybody on the stand, Kenny, Luba, Nick, thanks so much for everything. I just can't believe it. This is great.
Watch the Honda Indy Toronto, Sunday, July 15th at 3 p.m. on NBCSN.